We are joined now by the newest Halifax Wanderer in one of the first big stories of the CPL off-season, Thomas Meilleur-Giguère. Welcome to the show here. Thomas, I'm sure that's a weird thing to hear for the first couple times after, I think, 4 years at Pacific FC. Five, that's right. We all forget about 2020 sometimes. But just open us up here, Thomas, with how excited you are for a new chapter and maybe walk us through how this decision came about.
I'm honestly very excited. You know all the good thing you hear about Halifax, their playing style, the fans, the passion you can bring there. It's really amazing, you know. So I think it was just something that when it came on the table, it was really interesting. And after that, I got good chat with Patrice and with Matt Fegan, and I think we just figured it out. We just figured it out pretty quickly. It was clear what they wanted to do with me, that they really wanted me, and I felt great in that. And after that, the decision was really between me and my wife, and we said, you know what, let's go, let's try something new. Everything was perfect for us. New challenge, good opportunity, maybe a bigger role. So I was just like, let's go for it.
Absolutely. I think we'll get into that new chapter in a second, but I think before we do, we owe it to Pacific fans to maybe just talk a bit about why maybe it was time for a change, and obviously, I'm sure you have so many good memories of Pacific. I'm sure you're very grateful to that club as well.
Of course, I would never say anything bad about Pacific because I can't. Honestly, it's a great club. I think for the fans here, I think the thing with the Pacific fan is they're so loyal, and you always see the same one at the stadium, and they're very loyal and lovely, and they really won my heart during all those years. But I think I, I didn't even know it was time for a change. Honestly, it just I wasn't preparing anything. I was just letting the off season go in, and I think it was just couldn't find an agreement with Pacific. Halifax came through. We found a great agreement. Very happy about it. Very happy about what the future is gonna bring. And yeah, no, for the Pacific fan, I love them and I wish them all the best. Honestly, they deserve it. They deserve so much.
And obviously, some very great memories, I'm sure, with Pacific. You won a championship there, played the Whitecaps a couple times. What are the things that you'll remember from your time on the island?
Wow, a lot. To be honest with you, I can remember the island game. It was not on the island, but it was with Pacific, and we felt that was the first year of the building project. It was amazing. We did great. We had a great season. After that, 2021 was the championship year. Like it was amazing, great. The other year we played CONCACAF. We brought CONCACAF to Langford, this little city. CONCACAF was there. It was amazing. 2022 we had a great season. Those in semifinal. We played Whitecaps again. No, no. 2023 we played Whitecaps and Canadian Championship, and we did again in semifinal Canadian Championship in 2024,
Yeah.
where I was lucky enough to get the Fans Player of the Year award, which was really important to me because I felt like it's important to know that the fan like really see what you're doing for the club. So I was really grateful about that. And now, it's just all great memories that are in my head forever.
Absolutely. So to bring us over toward Halifax now, there's one other Pacific FC memory that I think we have to recall. If Benedict wants to roll the clip for us here for a second.
Done yet, but it's about 70 seconds left for Pacific. Gonna break the Wanderers' hearts. Dadaluke. Meilleur-Giguère. Moore gets it through. Unfathomable heartbreak in Halifax, Nova Scotia. After bunkering in for the last 25 minutes, Pacific keep on pressing, and for one of the few times in this second half that they could not clear the ball out of their box.
Pretty great goal and a huge goal for Pacific's season last year. Obviously, helping you guys get into the playoffs and maybe spelling some doom for Halifax's playoff hopes at the time. Have you apologized to Patrice yet?
You know what? That's funny. We actually haven't talked about it at all in our discussion. We didn't talk about that, and I'm glad we didn't. Because now I feel pretty bad. Just a little whoop, and yeah, little goal there. I was super happy, but that was nothing personal to Halifax. It was just part of the game, and Nah, I don't think I'll discuss that with Patrice yet. I don't know if he's ready.
No, I'm sure the goal now will be to make it up to the Halifax fans by providing a moment for them in that same stadium, right?
Oh yeah, we'll have a lot of great moments in that stadium with them, I'm sure.
Absolutely. So let's just talk about joining Halifax a little bit here. You know, you mentioned earlier your chats with Matt and with Patrice about kind of what you want to be in Halifax, the role you want to play. Just how excited are you for this chapter, and how familiar are you, do you think, with the vision they have for you?
I would start to say that for the vision they have for me is really great. It's a great vision, because they had a very young backline with a lot of quality, I would say, but maybe lacking experience and maybe game management, even emotional control at some point. So I think with me, when I come there, be coming to Halifax, I bring maybe a lot of experience, a lot of discipline, and I think in that sense, it's what they needed. So I think it was a perfect match in that case, and I want to really bring them to the highest level that they can get. And for my role there, I think my role is just going to be pretty similar to what I just say, helping the back line, the core to be strong, to stay together, and to build a championship team there. And for sure, I want to be a leader in the team. I had that at Pacific, but maybe now my role is going to be even more important because they're going to look up maybe a bit more to me because I'm new at the club. So that's my goal. I want to build a championship there with Petrus.
Yeah, and obviously a championship is something that you've done before in the Canadian Premier League. I want to talk a bit about, on that note, about yourself as a player. You've kind of gone through a lot of development in those 5 years you spent at Pacific, from the player you were when you first got there. I mean, last year you wore the captain's armband quite a few times. How much, as you mentioned, have you felt yourself kind of developing into more of that leadership presence, that calming presence in the back line, and how important will that be to, as you mentioned, quite a young Halifax defense?
Yeah, like you said, I won a championship. It was very hard mentally to do all the things to make sure we get to it. But with all the learning process that you get from there, now if I compare myself as when I came with Pacific, I think I was way more like wild and just always play football out of the back and trying all this little stuff. And that's maybe something that Halifax have been doing a lot. And maybe with my presence now at the back would help them to be able to find the perfect balance to when to play and when to maybe, like, guys, maybe it's just time to go a bit longer, to play a bit more simple, take less risk. And as the leader, I just embrace it at Pacific, being a leader and see the young guys look up to me. And that's what I'm looking to build in Halifax. And I think that's what Patrice wants from me too. So I think we just connect on that. It's going to be a great relationship.
And I think, maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the more specific assets to you coming in as that leadership presence is a lot of these players in the Halifax team are francophone, right? Kidesh, Jefferson Alphonse, Jeremy Gagnon-Laparé. Is that something that's helpful to you if you're communicating to your back line and your midfield?
Of course, I would say it's for sure it's important. Don't get me wrong, I can speak English too, so from the field we can figure it out, But for sure, like, I had a great relationship with Ali and Dunn this year, the center back when the season started, all in French. So I think that if we can keep that there, the French back line, I think we can for sure find good balance outside the pitch too. It's easier to be closer to play outside the pitch, and when you build that friendship after that on the pitch, it's just reflecting. And anyway, I'll be training with Nassim and Alphonse and all them. I'll be training with them in off-season in Montreal, so we'll have time to build it from there.
Absolutely. Well, certainly it's at the very least helpful with getting accustomed to a new team and a new group. Thomas, just the final question for you. When you think about going to Halifax, players across the CPL always call it their favorite away day. How excited are you to play in front of the Wanderers grounds atmosphere?
Very excited. I think it's the environment when you feel the most professional as a player, because you go with a lot of fans. They're very loud. They have a lot of passion. And all my life I lived it against me. So when I was doing something good, it was only like negative energy from their side. But I think that if now that I'm on their side, hopefully they're going to be able to cheer for me and love me as a person and as a player. But I'm very excited to bring some good moment there because I think it's going to be a bright future for all of us.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sure it won't take long for those Wanderers fans to love you. Thomas Meilleur-Giguère, welcome to Halifax, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for your time.